Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We have a question that has more than one idea. The question says the graphs of y equals x minus 1 all squared and y equals half x plus 1 intersect at A and B. Find the lengths of AB. So first of all, I have two types of graphs. I have y equal x minus 1 all squared. That's quadratic graph. That's quadratic. How did I know? The highest degree is x power 2. The highest degree is x power 2. That's quadratic graph. How the quadratic graph looks like? It gives parabola that opens up or opens down. Upward or downward, it depends on the coefficient of x squared. You know, if you know that if we expand, this is going to be x squared minus 2x plus 1. So that's quadratic function. How to look like? Because a here, the coefficient here is 1. It's 1x squared, so to be parabola, it's going to look like this way. It's going to open upward. Okay? The second graph, which is y equals half x plus 1, that's linear. That's linear graph. That's linear. So it will give us a straight line. So it could be look like that. Okay, because it's positive, so it's increasing from left to right. He says now that they will intersect at A and B. That means we have more than one intersection point. When you have a quadratic, when you have a parabola and a linear graph, they could intersect in 2 points. For example, if they intersect here, they'll intersect in 2 points. They could intersect in 1 point, which is the minimum point. They could intersect in no points. So he says here that they intersect in A and B. That means they are going to intersect in 2 points. So it will look like that. Let me change the color. For example, so we'll have 2 points. One of them is called A, and the other one is called B. Okay, so now we need to find this intersection point. So what you need to do is you need to solve the two equations together. How we solve them? We will solve them using substitution. Why I choose substitution? Because substitution here is the easiest way. So y equal, how do I know that it's the easiest? Because y equal x minus 1 all squared, y equals half x plus 1, and this is why I choose substitution. I have here y and here y, so I can substitute for the value of y here. So I'm gonna take this and substitute it here. So it will be x minus 1 all squared equal half x plus 1, and then we can expand this. So x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals half x plus 1, and then we get all of them in one side. So what we do is we'll subtract half x and subtract half x. So it will be x squared and negative 2x, negative half x. Both of them are negatives. So it's going to be negative 2.5 x's. Or you can make it negative 5 over 2 x's. 2.5, it could be 5 over 2. And then plus 1 equal 1, and then you can now subtract 1 from both sides. Subtract 1, subtract 1. So it will be 0, and here x squared minus 5 over 2x. Now we need to factorize. You can do it with the calculator for sure, but as you know now, we could have this type of question in the non-calculator paper, which is paper 2. So we have to make sure that we know how to factorize. So we'll take x as a common factor, factorizing by the highest common factor, then x minus 5 over 2, all equals 0. So in this case, when you have two factors multiplied equals 0, it could be the first one equals 0 or the second one equals 0. So x equal 5 over 2 or x equals 0. I got two values now for x. So I got the x coordinates for A and the x coordinates for B. Now we need to get what? We need to get the y coordinates. Okay, so take these values, and when x equals 0, it's easier to use this equation. This equation is easier to substitute. So I'll do it. I'll use it here. So x, y equal half times 0 plus 1. So y equals 1. So when x is 0, y is going to be 1. That's the first point. It could be A, it could be B. For me, it doesn't matter which one of them is A and which one of them is B. That's not going to affect the answer. Okay, when x equal second value, which is 5 over 2. So I'll use the same equation, y equal half times 5 over 2 plus 1. So y equal 5 over 4 plus 1. And it's easier to make 5 over 4. And then you make 1, 4 over 4. The same denominator. So y it will be 9 over 4. Okay, so when x equal 5 over 2, y is going to be 9 over 4. Okay, and that's the second point. Now I got A and I got B. I got A and I got B. But be careful, guys. In these questions, you have to check. You have to check. How? I got 0 and 1, 5 and 2 and 9 and 4. You have to go here and check here. I use this equation to find the values of y. I have to use the other equation to check, because sometimes we do mistakes. So I highly recommend you guys that you go here and you use try to check. So if you put x is 0, 0 minus 1 power 2 to be negative 1 power 2, so to be 1. So when x is 0, 1, that's correct. So this point is correct. Also check the other point. When x equal 5 over 2, so 5 over 2 minus 1. Sorry, what minute? I don't know what I did here. Okay, 5 over 2 minus 1, all power 2. 5 over 2, you can make it 5 over 2 minus 2 over 2. So it will be 3 over 2. All power 2 is going to be 9 over 4. So yes, when x equal 5 over 2, y is going to be 9 over 4. So that's it. So now we checked. So guys, we get A. Let's say A is 0 and 1. And B is 5 over 2 and 9 over 4. Can we get the distance now between them? That's easy. That's easy. We have a formula. We can use the formula and we can do it mentally. You know, point A, sometimes you need to sketch. Sketching would help you. So I said 0 and 1. 0 and 1 could be here. That's point A. And point B is 5 over 2, which is 2.5. 2.5, and 9/4. So 9/4 also is 2.5, 2.25, 2.25. So 2.5 is 2.25. Maybe it's here. Okay. Okay. That's point B. If I want to know how much is this distance, I have multiple ways. I can complete the triangle. I can make triangle here and here. Then I need to get how much is the horizontal distance and how much is the vertical distance. I want to know how much is this. And then I want to know how much is this. Then I'll use Pythagoras. I'll use Pythagoras to do it. That's the way. So you can do it this way. Find the distance, the horizontal distance, then find the vertical distance, and then use Pythagoras. So for example, from 0 to 2.5, what the distance from here to here? That's going to be 2.5. 2.5. Okay, and the distance from here to there, this distance is how much? That's from 1 to 9/4. How much is the distance from 1 to 9/4? You can make it 9/4 minus 1, which is equal 9/4 minus 4/4 is going to be 5/4. So this distance here is going to be 5/4. 5/4. And then you can use Pythagoras now. You can use Pythagoras. So let's call it x. So x is equal square root of a squared, which is 2.5 squared, plus 5/4 squared, and then you get the answer. Okay. طيب, do you have another way? Yes, we have another way. There is a formula that you can get the distance in any coordinate plane. There is a distance formula. If you'd like to save time and know it. So distance formula is square root of x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. What do I mean? You get these values. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. And then you do square root x2 minus x1, which is 5/2 minus 0, all squared, plus y2 minus y1, 9/4 minus 1, all squared. And then you're going to get the same distance, same step. So it will be 5/2 all squared, 5/2 all squared, and 9/4, which is, we just did it now. It was 9 minus 5. It's 5/4. 5/4 is squared. You can do it this way, and formula is easy. But if you don't remember the formula, you can do this. Just sketch. Think about the distance from this to this and this from this to this. Then use Pythagoras. So now we just need to get the answers. Okay. 5/2. We can do it without calculator. Okay. So this is gonna be 25/4 plus this is gonna be 25 but over 16. Okay. Then you can get the square root. I mean, you can make the same denominators. So you can multiply by 4 to make the same denominator. So square root of 100 over 16 plus 25 over 16. So we square root of 125 over 16 is going to be 5 over 125. Square root of 125 is square root of 125. Do we have square root of 125? No. So I'll keep it as it is. So the square root of 125 over, but I have square root of 16 over 4. Okay, so we can just get the answer now using the calculator. So this question is not a possible question in the exam without calculator because we don't have an exact value. Let me check also. 5 over 2. Okay, let me get the calculator so I can check that there is no any mistakes here. Square plus 2 square plus 5. I don't have. I was just using the phone, so I don't have a nice calculator on the phone. So 5 over 4 whole square. Yes, it doesn't give an exact answer. It's just a decimal. So it will be around 2.8. It will be around 2.8. Okay, that's it, guys. Very simple. The main idea here is to solve a system of equations, but we have quadratic and we have linear equation. We'll solve them. We get the values of x, then we get the values of y, and that's going to give me 2 points. I can get the distance between them using Pythagoras, distance in horizontal distance by subtracting the x's, vertical distance subtracting the y's, or if you know the formula, you can use it right away. Okay, that's all. Thank you, guys. Hope you enjoyed.